Hello, 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 and welcome, Venturers of Vera. Welcome to Tavern Talk, the Golden Feather Tavern. We are Vertek and Chibi, keepers of this fine establishment. And Golden Feather Tavern is open to all travelers to share their thoughts on the inner workings of Vera over a nice tankard of ale, mead, hot chocolate, or any other delicious beverage of choice. So raise your glass, pull up a chair as we delve into tonight's discussions. Gosh, that's yummy. So today is the 23rd of September 2025, and we are on discussion topics of what we name this one? Crates, mob grind, and updates.
Yeah, I couldn't really come up with a good thing to name it. So
Yeah.
Vodka. Why do you think I'm drinking vodka? There's no vodka in this drink.
There's a whole lot of coconut water and a whole lot of rum and moonshine.
Yeah.
I kept mine simple.
So I put sparkling water. I put coconut water. I put rum with coconut and rum with banana. You like banana? I did more of the grenadine in mine though, so it's pinkish. He said, mix a drink for me, and I said, okay.
And it came out dangerous. I taste no alcohol in this. None whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm gonna take these off. This is hurting me a little bit. There we go.
Oi. So everyone, how are you doing tonight, by the way?
Doing good. We knocked out some levels for some guildies, and I'm working on a set of apprentice bags.
Apprentice bags. Oh my gosh. I need some of those.
Time. It's been long since time.
Let me, since we're talking about bags, let me just lament about the fact that to go out hunting, you need to have a hunting bag and, was it a leather working bag? Or else you're gonna end up having a tough time. Because man, the live ones go to the hunting bag and the dead ones go to the leather working bag. Can't just carry two hunting bags.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of like, like some sort of bag addition to that. That's a good way to phrase that.
One would think, almost anyway, that you would carry around a leather working bag when you have actual like skinned animals, maybe.
Leather working bag?
I am making a leather working bag.
Tanning bag, I guess it is. I don't know. Either way, it's not a hunting bag.
There's a tanning bag?
No.
Is there an alchemy bag?
No. So leatherworking makes bags. They don't have a bag.
Okay, that makes so much more sense. Okay. Thank you. Yep. Because don't tailors also make bags?
Correct.
And so also carpenters make baskets.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the leatherworking is called a satchel.
Satchel, yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking when you're saying leatherworking bags, I'm like, what?
No, it's more of a joke because I found that the hunting bag doesn't carry the carcasses, which to me is kind of interesting. Maybe that's an issue.
Live animals.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's a giant horse pocket.
That's awkward to hear.
Pocket of horse.
Don't let horse hear you.
No, because if he has a horse pocket, we'd call him a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so far off topic here.
We are indeed.
Do you have the other video by chance?
Yes, I can put the other video on.
Okay. So we will talk about patch notes. It's not the forefront of our thoughts at the moment, though. We have a couple of conversations from the community over the last, couple of days. we basically went over everything in our notes for Saturday. So we don't have anything left over for that from like the last 2 weeks, literally. So we had to scrounge up some more topics. But, oh. Wow, okay. I almost thought we were like being ashes for a second. The whole screen did it. And I was like, I don't know. It reminds me when they do the showcase and it just goes full screen. Those are my favorite. But anyway, so crates. Love them, hate them. This is kind of related to the patch notes. But this is from... Oops, whoa. Not that. That was an ad. Outrageous Sprinkles.
Awesome name.
Outrageous
It's a good
Sprinkles.
name. I like the name, yeah. From u/outrageous Sprinkles. Says that crates need an expiration timer.
He's correct.
And whether you know this or not, apparently currently I don't know if this is Shoal or if this is on a different server, but people are stockpiling crates from KT or Kaltoram near Sunhaven, which is a pretty big distance away. Atash, everybody's welcome to join the Discord. There's a live stream queue. Let me Discord. There you go. As long as you're respectful, you're welcome in. But so basically, some people have like 70 to 100 crates just stockpiled near Sunhaven. So as soon as Sunhaven levels up, people will rush the market with them. And essentially, because there's no dynamic value yet, because it's new, some people might get a lot of gold out of that because it's a good way to kind of play the market of knowing that that's about to open for settlement.
And my question on them real quick is, do they stack inside of your what was it, the caravan cargo storage? Do they stack in there?
Oh no, but there's quite a lot and it only takes up a one by one.
Okay,
but you have to remember the Harbor Caravanseries also have its storage as well.
Yeah, it's just so the post is talking about people having 70 to 100 of them stockpiled up, and I haven't tried to save one or store one anywhere, so I just haven't tried.
Me either. One by one, easiest store. Yeah, because you can take it to the cargo storage and put it in there.
Oh man.
Yep.
But this person's saying that when crates are created, they need to be on a timer. So say like 48 hours of real time or maybe less. And that will prevent that type of gameplay. Because after Sunhaven goes up, people will just start stockpiling at the next location. The cycle will continue over and over. And then another option that they added as an edit is making it, at the time of creating it, being only able to deliver it at whatever is 3+ at that time.
Honestly, that should be maybe plus or minus 10%, but yeah, I agree.
I like that. I thought they expired to begin with. Oof. No, not if you put them in the storage. They might expire out in the open world.
They do expire on reset. So if they're on the ground and it resets, it's gone.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I think the expiration, well, no, because if it's just a box of rocks and sticks, it shouldn't expire. I was thinking of goods going bad, as they sit on a shelf, but...
I think commodity crates should expire. I don't think construction and guild and citizenship crates should expire.
See, here's the thing. I like the idea, but there's also this other idea of what if I spent my hard-earned time and efforts creating a crate just to, when I go to turn it in, realize that it's at a much lower price than when it initially was. And so I decide to put that one crate away and wait until, like, let's say there's like daffodils or something in there, and then it's winter, so the daffodils don't grow anymore, just as an example. Then I have taken my surplus daffodils that would have been not worth anything, and I was able to save that there. I suppose what I could do is just, I mean, I feel like it would just ruin the whole point anyway. Because I was gonna say what I could do is probably just crack it open, but then it's not from that like node anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, so look at it this way. I think no matter what they were to do to try to adjust the crates, I don't know if any of that would necessarily be fair to do en masse, because let's just say that you I don't know, you tried to run one crate over from KT to Maryland. Let's just say you're going to full tilt right now, all right? And you get to I don't know, let's say you're going the north route and you hit Winstead, and you find out that just over the river is a zone, Lala zone, and you don't want to go through that with a pack, right? You're gonna get wrecked, absolutely, without even a second thought. You're gonna get wrecked.
Unless you're rogue.
So okay, let's stop at Winstead. I'm gonna put it here. Okay, and you go to try to make that run again because you happen to be like up in the anvils, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it tonight. Tonight I'm gonna make the run. And once again, you go let's say the southern route, and you can't pass through to Miraleth because again, there's another lawless zone there. So you turn back around and you drop it off somewhere else, and you keep doing that, and everywhere you try to go, there ends up being a lawless zone that pops up nearby, and you know that people are going to be flowing to and from that from the local node, and so you have to keep dropping it off somewhere. You had all these crates. What are you going to do with them? Finally, someday you're like, I'm going to make the final leg of this today. I'm just going to do nothing but final leg crates. And that if you get a cooldown for turning in a crate, then suddenly you're handicapped because you just had stuff coming up. Let's say it took you longer to run because you were escaping people who were trying to kill you, and you just didn't have that much time to stay on for the last like hour of the run or whatever. So you have to put it away. You have to let it sit there. I mean, just planning ahead like that honestly takes a little bit of calculated chance, really. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. Maybe when that becomes a tier 3, or that you can start turning in crates, there's going to be a bunch of people hanging out there anyway, because they know people are going to start running crates from there, and so they're looking to hang around there and start making crates. But then they see people running crates in, and they'll just gank them and take their crate the last like 20 feet into town. Like, I don't know, in my opinion, I think there's a lot of ick that could happen with trying to kneecap people on those. Just to save from the people who have been, because either way they ran all those crates, right? They could have run those crates all the way had that node already been up, and they're gonna hurt themselves for the turn-in cost of the crates anyway, right? If they try to turn them in super fast.
Yeah, it would be detrimental. I mean, I know diminishing returns on the crates is a thing, but I don't know at what point it scales up or down.
Well, you figure if one person has 70 to 100, they're going to be hitting some serious diminishing returns before they get even a quarter of the way through that.
Yeah.
25 of them ran in any short amount of time is definitely going to drop that diminishing return. Like, it just has to. There's no way it doesn't.
Holy Knight further down in the comments says some people may get a lot of gold, but if what you say is true, diminishing returns will be reached very quickly. People won't make it more than 10 or at most 20 crates before the price starts to dump.
Yeah. Not to mention these individuals are waiting on a tier 3 node.
70 is crazy.
They're going to have to run back to the place of origin wherever they're stockpiled at, running back and forth, and then this time, you could have 40 or 50 other people doing this as well. So at best, they might get 5 crates in before diminishing returns kicks in, or it could be less.
Yeah. That's interesting. But yeah, 70 is a lot, 70 to 100 crates. And somebody at the bottom, I don't know if they're joking or not. Damn, I've been doing this for weeks now. Don't ruin it for me.
Honestly, because you figure they could have totally turned all those in at another node and had that money already, and now been flipping on the market and possibly made more money than they'll make by just waiting and to turn those crates in, just by pure chance of not getting slain with them sitting around,
Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
my take on it, though. I don't know.
There's another thing I want to like kind of chat about, but that's when we circle back to the update notes. Unless you think we should go to that next.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, Oracle, you're in here. Did you have any input, or are you just mainly listening?
Mainly listening. I'm waiting for updates.
Oh, look who it is.
Monsieur
okay.
Vladis.
The Vladdy Daddy.
I've been selling commodity certificates just to get by. Aw.
Hey, everyone.
Hello, welcome in.
I saluted you the other day.
You did.
I did.
You didn't even notice. Oh my
You know,
goodness.
that's because he doesn't see me on a character known as Irwin. It's always Trick.
Oh.
That's okay. He doesn't see me on TV Bree sometimes. Pupo says tying up capital when it could be leveraged is not always the best bet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
But we were just talking about, we just finished rather talking about crates having an expiration timer.
Crates.
Yeah,
Yes.
because apparently people have been stockpiling crates near Sunhaven for when it hits level 3. They can just turn them all in and make a bunch of money.
I have a hot take on crates, but
Uh-oh. What's your hot take
Okay.
on crates?
I don't think crates or caravans should reward you gold.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It would be a losing battle for Intrepid to ever balance,
Mhm.
because the people that have 18 or 20 hours that can no life this game, maybe they're retired, maybe they're, I know a couple of people that are actually veteran disabled that love Ashes and play it, and they're at home all day, and those are the same people that are doing the static node rarity and getting like 35 legendaries because they'll farm the full 24 hours and have pointers on the map and stuff like that. Crates and the caravans, by arbitrarily giving you gold for going a distance, I just don't think is conducive and balanceable by Intrepid. And I would rather just the reasoning why you would do it is because the node requires them to achieve maybe the next tier or whatever. So there's actually like a really good reason why you'd want to run a huge caravan of materials, to help your node, right? Or to potentially sell something not native to that biome, right? If you're transporting, let's say, 1,000 Weeping Willow with a couple of caravans to the June Dark, that makes sense to me, right? Or even the anvils, and selling them to the people like within the marketplaces there. That's how it should make you gold, not for just some vendor being like, oh, you traveled this long distance, well, here's some gold for your trouble. Like I just think, especially with Chinese bot farmers, and that's how the gold in Ashes is going to become super inflated by those kinds of systems that reward you gold based off of just a distance. I really don't like it. I'd rather have them reward you other things like node bucks or citizenship experience, node experience. Just
okay.
It's not, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not just the distance that's calculated into the price, is it?
No, it's not. It's rarity
things you have.
materials contributed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things you put into it and the certification that is bought with the crate. But I don't like, I was talking more for caravans when it comes to distance, because that kind of like, what you put into those crates into the caravan too ultimately matter as well. But I would rather just the game offer something else as a reward. I think gold will just be a huge problem.
So then how would you suggest people make gold if not through the crate system?
Through professions, gathering, processing, right? Like processing shouldn't make you broke. Like phase 2, people were literally earning a great living by gathering materials, processing them to different things, and selling them on the marketplace.
Okay, but like those are gold sinks technically. How do you make the gold to afford that?
Gathering really isn't a gold sink though.
It kind of is. Yes, I agree with that. It kind of is when you have to get the materials needed to get the next like pickaxe or sickle or whatever.
Yeah, gathering is I think what he's trying to say is gathering is going to be a net gain rather than a.
I don't
Potential
disagree
sink,
with that. But where are you getting gold from in the first place to then spend the gold? If it's not through crates, is what I'm asking.
You can earn gold through like once we have an actual elaborate quest system, you can earn gold through there. Because again, that's very manageable because they're one-time quests that can reward you glint. Glint also drops off of mobs. But again, like I think there needs to be things. I don't mind systems that can reward you gold, but they need to be limited. They need to be something that Intrepid could dial in on. And I really don't think they're ever going to do like some sweet spot for crates or for caravans. I think it'll inevitably be a problem for the people that have no life to play this game. And the people that all it takes is like 1 to 3% of those people to ruin it for the 97. And I just see it very problematic in the future.
Gotcha.
Again, hot take, may not happen, but just something I don't
know. The way I see it, as long as there are multiple ways of earning money, there are multiple play styles that can come into being effective and can be successful. And it's not like, okay, well, to make money in this game, you have to run caravans. If you're not running caravans, you're not making money. That's it. Yeah. End of story. If you're not crafting, you're not making money. End of story. Like you have to be crafting to make money. That's the only way you'll make money. Like if you dial it down to the most easily controlled thing, it's you have one thing that can make you money and that's it. And that just doesn't feel good. If there are ways to say like, okay, you can run as a solo player, you can try to run a crate and make money, or you can lose it along the way. And now you have to go do more commissions and go do some gathering or buying off the marketplace to put together a commodity pack to run it across a map. And you run it across the map and you get taken down. Someone steals it from you. Now you got to do that all over again.
Right.
To make money. Or you can run with a group with a caravan, or you can go collect drops to sell to crafters, or you can be a crafter, or there's a lot of different play styles that can come into play.
Also, I agree with what Saken is saying. Saken says, can we pump the brakes? Anyone playing something or doing something longer should be rewarded further. I guess I don't understand that logic. If you're gathering 20 hours a day, are you wanting someone that gathers 2 hours a day to make the same amount? And also, Dathina says, I'm with TB Bree. That's flawed, having to simply grind mobs for glint to acquire gold. And Natasha's saying some stuff too as well, but I want to give you a chance to respond. I think that whoever is spending that time, your time is valuable. So if you have the time to sit there and play all day, you should absolutely have more money than me.
No, I agree to an extent, but the thing is that with how RMT and how everything is and how Intrepid's going to be combating that, again, to dial in certain parameters, it's going to be very hard for them that you can just keep doing it. You can keep running crates. There is no stopping. And you're going to have, of course, like there's always going to be like a 1% when it comes to ashes, right? But I feel like right now it's the thing to do. And like even treasure maps, like I would love if treasure maps were something that actually gave you a good, decent amount of gold or whatever, right? Like you expect games to have sinks. I think the game has a lot of really, really broken sinks currently. But I think, again, there should be multiple ways other than just like grinding mobs to earn gold. But I just think, again, the crate stuff and, even caravans, I think were, I don't know, maybe caravans, not so much because you had to kind of like spread out the gold throughout, everyone, or maybe you didn't, I don't know. But with crates, that's all you, right? So I feel like crates, if they were to nerf it by like 70%, then who's going to want to do those, right? And I think it's just one of those things that you're not going to have a winner. Like if it's going to be gold, then people are going to want a good chunk of it. And that's going to be the problem Intrepid's going to have. You know what I'm saying? Is like what feels good to someone may not feel good to someone else. And I don't think they're ever really going to find a sweet spot, because Arcade's never found a sweet spot. So
yeah.
I don't think any game has found a sweet spot. To be honest.
It's really hard to do that.
That's why I want Intrepid to be more limiting into systems, especially kind of like caravans and crates. But anytime you put a limiter on, it doesn't feel good from a player's perspective, right? So it's like, that's why I want just something else, give something else, like, because I feel like once we actually have the Fatui system and an actual story arc quest system that we can embark on, like, I wouldn't mind like the quests giving you gold, because they're one time, you know what I mean? And if you spend that gold, like if you earn like 100 gold, leveling from 1 to 25, like just through quests, like cool, you know what I mean? Like you can use that gold to buy something or whatever, but eventually that gold's going to be gone, because you can't do those quests again, So
how about look at it in a different frame of mind then. So how long does it take to run a crate, and what's the most gold you've seen made from a single crate?
From a single crate, I haven't personally been running them that much, but I know someone already who's made over like, I don't know, 350 gold
from a single crate.
No, not from a single crate, but from just running over and over and over again.
Well, running over and over. That's kind of the point I was going to get to. Is it depends on how much money you're going to make over time. Like, I think the only one I've run was a green one, and it was 1 gold. And that was from where, like, Jova to Marileth or something. So pretty long hike.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
It takes a whole lot of money to make one. I would have made twice that with just farming glint, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's a hot take. I personally don't think Intrepid is going to ever do what I'm suggesting in removing it. But I just feel like we're going to have another conversation then down the road of other things potentially being lucrative, but then now you're creating a whole other issue where now multiple things are just as lucrative as crates, which creates another bigger problem with these people that have a lot of time to spend in the game. And it further inflates the original problem by making more, like, because I agree with you, Vertec. I would love if there were multiple ways for you to earn gold, but once that occurs, then those people that have a lot of time to spend are going to be like gangbusters, right? Comparatively to the people that are only like 4 to 10 hours a day or whatever.
They should.
I mean, honestly,
if I spend 80 hours a week on something, I would like to feel like my effort and time was worth that, compared to somebody who spent 10 to 20 hours a week on something, or 6 or 8 or what have you. Like, because that's kind of a discussion I'd gotten into with somebody before, and I forget what it was about. Oh yeah, it was about way back when people were first complaining about how with the number of alts you can have, one person could corner the market on all the artisan skills. And like, if you have someone who's going to dedicate enough time to get every single artisan skill up to Grandmaster, and have a friend to transfer all the goods around to all the different characters, they are doing nothing else in the game besides gathering, processing, and crafting. Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else they're gonna do. So they're not out adventuring, they're not out doing PvP, they're not out doing anything besides crafting. I say let them.
Yeah.
Like, but if they're literally dedicating more than a full-time job's worth of time to just crafting.
Like I said, but if you let them, it raises the ceiling on everything.
Does it?
Like on the buying power, on what we see in other MMOs, bro. Yeah, we do.
Does it though? Because what if they spent all that time out there farming gold, running crates, running caravans? What if they just farmed glint? What if they went out there and farmed item drops and sold item drops? What if they spent all that time playing the market, buying all the stuff that's super cheap and selling it for a minor markup, and they just gain a ton of money that way because of just minuscule increases that just barely make more than tax?
But usually they don't just minor mark it up. They some people, once they get really rich, they buy out a whole corner of a market and sell it up to like a pretty good degree.
They can make more money doing that then, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
So they don't necessarily need to
get richer.
So they don't necessarily need to corner the market on all the artisan skills.
But what I'm talking about is now you're raising it for the people that are only playing 2 to 4 hours a day. Those people are going to be left in the dust because they can't play. And again, like I said, you're never going to find a sweet spot. People always advocate for these people that can play these 20 hours a day, right? Like, woohoo to them. That's fine. But then the other conversations to be had where now you're going to have people that don't play as much and can't even buy a piece of gear because of how inflated the market has now become by these 1%ers. It's you can't really buy anything now, even with the gold that you're making. So that's the problem that happens.
So you either have to increase the surplus or change the design.
So, I mean, again, like I said, we can have that conversation down the road, but I've seen this play out in World of Warcraft multiple times, and that's also with RMT and gold selling and whatever. And it's like a lot of times people are just buying the WoW token because, well, a piece of gear that's being sold is just for a price that's out of my range of gameplay. So I have to buy this token now to buy it. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to happen.
People don't buy it, they don't sell it, and then they have to lower their pricing, and they ruined the effort and money that they put into the market to sell it at a higher price because nobody bought their item, and they have to relist it again at a lower price. Because if they're truly the 1%ers, there's probably not a lot of people on the server that are going to be no-lifing ashes to that extent. And the majority of the server is not going to be able to afford that, like you just mentioned.
But it's like what I'm saying, Chibri, is you're raising the ceiling so the people that can play, let's say, 6 to 8 hours are playing the game just fine. And the people that are only playing a little bit are going to be left out. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. So it's going to be hard for those people. And it's not saying I'm trying to make it easy for them, but I'm just letting you know what the reality is going to be.
So this is a little bit of a hyperbolic statement, but it sounds like you're advocating for capping everybody's gameplay at 12 hours a week. Like they can't log into Ashes, and if they played 12 hours that week already, they can't play anymore.
Yep. BDO tried to do that with the labor system.
I feel like by what's going to happen already, people are going to feel like that. But no, they're, like I said, people in this game, if they're going to play 20 hours, they are going to inevitably get a lot out of this game, like for sure. But what I'm just talking about is the reality of the entire financial floor being raised to a point where if you aren't playing a minimum of 25 to 30 hours a week, this game's probably not going to be very fun for you because everything is going to be really expensive. Well, exactly what I mean. We're seeing that now. So, and a lot of people from my guild have found it really hard because they only have like maybe 2 or 3 gold. And it's like, oh, I got to process a batch. And if I do that, I'm going to go down to like 90 silver.
Well, let me correct my statement. With the stated overall design, it's already going to be like that. It's not currently in the stated desired design at this point. But if like all the bugs get taken care of and people aren't able to have the overlay thing going on with gathering, and they aren't able to, you know, stack crates on their back and turn in 100 of them at once, and if none of those things were actually an issue and the economy was in the stated design and the world is in the stated design, it's already not going to be casual friendly.
Absolutely.
Like, flat out. It's not going to be casual friendly in any way, shape, or form.
And especially if like there's again multiple systems that can reward you just as lucratively as the crate system, the floor will just keep raising and raising.
Not really. So it's going to raise the same amount. If it plays if it pays just as sorry, just for the one last thing is like if it pays as lucrative per hour, it's not going to keep raising it further. It's going to raise at the same rate.
I just want to make sure Atasha's comments are getting in here because Atasha's making some really good points. Counter from Vladis, but real quick. For Vertex question earlier, Atash said 35 minutes as a bard, got 7 gold with heroic and 12 from epic. Did 3 with Cal Tor, was up and got 26 gold. So that's for your reference for how much gold per crate or like about, depending on the like amount or the rarity. And then Atash was saying agreed that like they should be able to have more mats or money because they can play more. And then if they want to sell stuff, they need to find the right price. You can see it in the market now. If they try and sell it too high, you won't see them sell their items. A real example is a ring recipe was 59 gold. Now it's down to 15 and still in market, no one is buying it. And that person wasted so much money listing it again and again. And then as far as the processing costs, that's just the problem with the processing that it is right now. And they know, and it should be like half of it, like from what it is currently. And then Saken saying that WoW had soulbound gear, and it's not quite the same because he gave Vertec and myself hand-me-downs all the time. The game's about having like making friends and things like that. So if you don't have friends, this game's not really for you. And the whole idea is to be able to find have like these really good gear pieces, and when you don't need them anymore, you can give them to your friends or your guildies and help out somebody new. And then also Lumina says it depends on how distributed the market is as well.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these I think are really, really good points. And
also, if someone is trying to buy everything out in the market and raise the price, especially for a crafted good, all the crafter needs to do is stop posting on the market and go directly to the buyer.
That's what the trade chat's for.
Yeah, trade chat.
Like there, you've made someone.
Look at that.
Someone has wasted all the money trying to buy everything out. They have no money left because no one is buying from them.
Yeah.
We'll see. We have that with radiant pieces now too, where glory bound heroic Dawnlit greatsword was 125, 300 gold just yesterday, and it's down to 80 gold now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the day when we see the marketplace flooded with things that are like for sale 1 copper, and it's just something silly, and it's just an advertisement saying, hey, I have all these things selling for this much, PM me if you want to buy it.
Yeah,
just advertisements put up for cheap things for sale for stupid cheap, just to get as little tax and listing money paid as possible, but just telling people to whisper them.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways this could all go. We could also end up seeing, I guess the scarcity is going to change once we got Master and Grandmaster in there too.
Yeah. Also, Tosh makes a good point. People love to try to get their stuff selling, and if that one person sells everything for a higher price, and I come up and I'm like, I've noticed that person's stuff's been there and it's been sitting at a stack of 20 for the last 2 days. It's probably about to expire. I can probably, I'll get away with like half that cost, because obviously nobody's buying that even a little bit. And at half the cost, it'd still be worth my time and effort gathering this thing. I'd list it for half the cost, and I'm more likely to make sales than he is. And the next person comes and goes, well, I want to make sure I sell this whole stack and Chibi's is selling, so I'm going to list it a little lower than hers, and that's just kind of how it goes from there. So yeah.
Yep. And so be it, on and on and on. Just if anyone wants to buy anything on the marketplace, keep in mind that you can have the same rarity and named item, but it might have different stats, so always look at the stats before you judge it on being cheaper than another one.
Yeah, exactly. They just need to add more filter to market, like lowest price and highest price, and things will get bounced way faster. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the market we have right now is not like the intended final product.
Yeah, no, not at all. They said that they basically said they just put something in just so it would exist to get a marketplace in there for people. And then they added a couple features, like being able to search items for like super giant QOL instead of searching through market names.
Yeah, that was really nice, because I was trying to look for an item and I was like, it was taking forever. Yeah,
the lowest price, along with the fact that auctions expire after, 2-3 days. Yeah, the expensive stuff is going to drop in price real quick.
Come the end of the year, that's another big thing. We're getting no destruction.
Alter Ego just said, yeah. Alter Ego just said, you also have to remember that there's only so much storage available for each character, and the risk of losing storage with wars and stuff. So they'll have to sell the lower stuff cheap to make space for higher tier stuff. If you're casual, you'll be okay with lower tier stuff, be it armor or weapons, etc.
Oracle just experienced that today. He was trying to move some storage around, and he's like, well, I guess I'm just going to sell everything blue and below.
Yep. Ultimately, that's what I use for crates, because I don't know what else to do with them. I'm like, all right, you're crate fodder now. Here we go. But I think I get what you're saying, Vladis. I do understand that you're feeling like there's going to be an off balance with the market and everything, but they're going to have their own struggles that the casuals won't have. The casuals will want to go and get stuff, and in my opinion, there's going to always be so much to choose from for the casuals to get items. And then on top of that, there's the inter-guild trading, where so-and-so has it too much expensive on the market. They can just see if somebody in their guild will have it for cheaper.
So, and yeah, because I definitely see what you're saying also, and I share the same kind of fear of something like that really happening, like things ballooning too fast, too far. But I feel that as long as everything is balanced for at least roughly the same time commitment per money gain, then that just leaves more opportunity for different play styles to make the same amount of money in the same amount of time.
Thank you, Philae.
Hey, thank you, Philae.
Cheers.
You know? And as long as that exists, then it's still a level playing field, because if somebody can only play for 2 hours a week, then they're only going to get 2 hours worth of gain out of the game, no matter what they're doing. They're going to get 2 hours worth of gain. And that's all they can do. So they have to understand that, right? And somebody who can devote like 60, 70, 80 hours a week because they're crazy and or have no job and or just invested in stock market and is just watching their money calculate up every day like a crazy person. Then so be it. I mean, they have that much time and energy to put into the game, so they should benefit from it. But at the same pace as everybody else has an opportunity to. The one thing that does leave a negative opportunity for is more opportunities for different areas of gain for things like RMTers and whatnot. But I mean, that's going to kind of happen either way. There's going to be RMTers trying to make money.
You mentioned the add-on. Did y'all talk about that yet? Because I came in a little late.
The add-on?
The rarity add-on.
Oh, I'm not intending on really covering that much.
That was it's a sore spot for a lot of people I saw on the Discord, but we try not to really bring up those things. I think there's enough conversation on that topic other places. It's also against TOS, so you know, if they do have anything tracking back in programs, you're going to be exposed and probably lose your account. So
without fully going into the conversation, for anybody who is maybe not up to date with the current ongoings, there was found to be an add-on that some people were using that gave what rarity, because items I think are static still, and so people could just see with this add-on what rarity things were specifically, and just went and farmed those things over and over. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. Intrepid knows about it, has dealt with it, or is dealing with it. And the custom made third-party overlays, mods, etc. are against TOS, and that's about all I'm gonna say on the matter for this.
Yeah. And yeah, to respond to Mr. Noobtastic, that's exactly what I mean by a level playing field, though. There's the same opportunity. Talking about equality, the equal opportunity of accessing said money over said amount of time that you can put in. If you don't have that much time to put in, then you're obviously not going to get as many gains overall, but just because you don't have as much time. It's like, the only other way to balance that is to say that you can log into the game 10 hours a week. Sorry, because some people can only log in for 5 hours. You're already going to be twice as far ahead of everybody. So you only get 10 hours a week, and that's it.
Yeah. It's an enchant recipes, town cloaks eventually. Oh, okay. So Atasha's wondering, how does everyone think about crates that just give you a citizen ticket as reward, not gold or anything else? And I said it kind of depends on what I get with the citizen tickets, because for gold I'm able to get a lot of things. Like I'm able to go to the market and then maybe get like some items I needed to finally make the gear piece that I needed, for example. And Natasha says you get certificates and all enchantment recipes and town cloaks eventually, more gear like cloaks that are locked behind rep level 4, which I love. Those vendor gear they rolled back should have been locked behind citizen rep plus 3 or 4 and should be bound to player to force people to help the town with buy orders and commissions, which I think absolutely, kind of going off tangent with the crate thing a little bit. having a reason to specifically work on a node and to be loyal to said node is important. And I love that they added the citizen reputation to the game. And I think that I can't wait for them to stand up more things that require citizen reputation, because currently being able to just leave your citizenship from one node to go to another node for rush like voting is feeling a little bit bad. Like, you should maybe after leaving your first node need to acquire more reputation, unless specifically, which is not in yet, by the way, you become a refugee of your node. That is the only exception I could see.
Yeah, maybe the refugee system should be implemented so we don't have these node jumpers trying to force votes on, we'll say, members of the community that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I still think they should all just be synced up. Like a certain day and certain time is like the voting time. If an emergency vote needs to happen, cool. If that gives you a week as mayor or 3 weeks in an emergency vote situation, so be it. But
Saken wants some PvP.
all other votes should be happening at the same day, same time.
Crying people. That's funny.
Like worldwide sync, if nothing else, or at least server sync.
I think that after getting, I don't know how to feel about that, because right now what you have it is if when you become mayor, you have a month before the next mayor thing goes. But when something like you forget to pay your taxes or something else happens and you lose your mayorship, that's actually happened to one of our mayors on one of our servers.
More than 3 times.
But if you forget to pay your taxes as a mayor, or something else happens where you're no longer a mayor and there's now a new rush to become like the mayor of a node, or whatever other emergency situation, but then what if it happens where you just get elected in and 3 days from now is when the global voting day is? Like, do you just get a month and then some extra 3 days? Because I don't think 3 days is a fair amount of time for being a node mayor before having to do with another sorry, they're talking in the chat about PvPing because Noobtastic won. but like, yeah, so like, how do you balance that, right? Because if you just become a mayor and then 3 days later is the like global server wide mayor voting day, like how do you handle that? Do you just get an extra day because you were like the emergency mayor?
No extra days, in my opinion. No extra days.
No
extra days. That person should only be able to run for 3 days as mayor before having to be reelected again.
Yep, they got it once, they'll get it again.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, just because that's the only way. I mean, outside of doing some really complicated stuff in the background, which who knows what it's going to end up doing to other systems and how confusing it's going to be for people with, if you voted here, then you're not allowed to vote for anything else. You're not allowed to leave your node, or you're not allowed to join another node, or once you do join another node and you spend 4 days, contributing to their stuff, or a week contributing to their stuff, you still can't vote. And someone that you hate turns out to be mayor, and now you got to leave that node because you don't really like what's going to happen, and now you can't vote in the next one because it complicates stuff instead of just syncing up all the votes between all the nodes same day, same time.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. And Lamina says, if it was an emergency election, I think 3 days is fine, and that's fair. Yeah. Like, it was an emergency thing. That's fair. I just
need a tavern. Seekin's got it right there.
From having tried running in New Ayla, it just felt like there was a lot of like effort to get votes in the first place, that I don't know if it was a good feeling to have to go through all of that again. Like, didn't we just vote for this person? Come on. The thing about the short mayor run DJ ones is the non-elected node types economic gotta spend the coin for a 2-day reign is kind of rough. What about the divine, etc.? Yeah, that's fair. Where it's not just election, right? Like, you fought your way to victory, now you gotta fight again.
So, okay. So for the economic one, right? I think everybody that I know thinks that it's worthwhile to spend $1 on a lottery ticket when the lottery prize is like $11 billion, right? Like, I may as well spend $5. Who knows? If I don't win, it's $5. If I do win, it's $11 gajillion. I'll be able to give everybody that I know life-changing money and give away some to the people on the street just because. Why not? Absolutely worth it. Well, how about I buy 2? Sure, why not? Buy 3? Yeah, that might even be worth it. Buy 4? Maybe, yeah. Well, how about 1,100? Nah, that's too much for me. The economic node is going to be the same thing. Somebody is going to do a blind bid of like 10 silver, and they're going to win the economic mayor for 3 days. They're going to toss in 1 copper on the off chance that they win the bid. I mean, somebody's going to get that node for 2 days.
Bringing up our... Go ahead, sorry.
It'll be hilarious.
Yeah, it'll be hilarious. And also to see what they do with that node for that 2 days when they win it for 10 copper.
I was gonna say, that would be a perfect opportunity for that, like bringing back that no life that's spending 80 hours a week on Ashes. Please, by all means, buy your way into being mayor. You have the gold. You're probably spending way more time on this game than I am. You'll probably actually give us commissions to do.
Right.
And pay attention to the health of the economic for the node. Like, but yeah, 2 days for 5 copper would be freaking funny though in town, right? Use the gold to buy the mayor and get the flying mount. Yeah, there you go. Now you can just fly to go collect whatever stuff you're trying to do.
I mean, absolutely. Think about the financial gain you could get from that. Just, trucking around a backpack full of materials for somebody. And 3 entire days of that being the only thing that you do after you buy your mayorship.
I can't wait to see the ladder for the military nodes.
Yeah, I'm super curious
for competing for mayorship.
Yeah. Oh, and somebody had asked like, oh, where's the like, why can't I duel yet? Where's the duel system? Let me duel my friends. I was like, that's fair. I'd love to see that.
Soon. I mean, I thought he said something about that on the other thing,
Thank you. Is that even working? Yeah. Oh, it is. There it is. I was waiting. I saw it in chat well before I saw it on screen. I don't know what this does, but I'm doing it.
But I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's a different, it's a more fancy highlight my message. So you got the highlight your message, which actually just highlights it in chat. That's so fancy, it highlights it on screen. Yeah. So if you have like a really important comment that you think everybody should see, you can redeem that and it'll put your message directly on screen. Just be kind with that. Power requires responsibility.
Refund.
But I guess the next thing I want to say, going back to talking about the people that are just spending hours on Ashes, according Inside 830, I guess is this user's name, is asking to remove the grind completely. And they said, we all really hope this game will be successful, but young players will not grind, they just won't. And if the game wants to see revenue, they need a wake-up call. I fear the wild grinds are not removed, the game will not have a large enough player base to keep revenue high enough to keep the game going. Best of luck. And I read through the comments a little bit on this one, and the basic thing that they're saying is, the younger generation from their perspective are playing like Fortnite and Roblox and these lot less like grindy type games, so they're less likely to come and sit on the computer for hours on end because that's just not the type of demographic the younger generation is. Like when I was in college, I absolutely was that type of person, but I also was raised on MMOs. And that another person to counteract that point said those are the people that would be the most likely, aside from like veterans or people who aren't working full-time jobs. Those younger people who are just in college and don't have chores or a family or like full-time work will be more likely to just sit and grind all day when they're done with schoolwork and whatnot than anybody else. So what are your thoughts?
I've actually elicited a child playing my account for a little bit while I went and ate a drink or food. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're teaching them young, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I can tell you that my daughter definitely knows how to play rogue.
Nice. Raising her well.
Life from the shadows.
I mean, me personally, I think the grind isn't necessarily the issue. And this is coming from somebody who I absolutely despise grinding. I always have in every game ever. And I think the rose-tinted glasses for people who say that that's how old games used to be and everybody loved it and everybody loved the experience along the way. It wasn't just getting to max level. I think that's 100% cope. You learned to enjoy other things about the game besides the grind because you had to, or you're going to go insane because all there was a grind.
Yeah.
Now that games have advanced, they've gotten better, more complicated, more in-depth. There's more things to do. Yeah. And people have gotten more used to the fact that modern games have more things to do. And when a game purposely goes backwards and says, you know what, we're going to make things inconvenient again because that's how good games used to be. I think there's certain decisions that need to not be made that direction. Because there's a reason these conveniences exist, because people were getting tired of it. And it was an amazing thing when suddenly you didn't have this great inconvenience just because that's how games were made.
Ooh.
An advancement was made. An improvement was made. Sometimes they need to stay there. But all that to say that I think there should be the option to grind. And I think it should be just as valid as questing. It should be just as valid as doing something else to make the same experience in time. Like, same experience per hour if you're pushing hard, no matter what you're doing, is my opinion on it myself.
Yeah.
There you go, so you can bust out the AI engine and say, Ashes of Creation, making games inconvenient again.
But I mean, all that being said, also they are planning on adding a whole lot more questing. There's going to be a main story quest, which we haven't even seen yet. So right. I mean, there's plenty of other things that are going to exist. So I think that complaint is only going to be valid right now at this time, that it's completely grindy. Now, the level of grind that's required between the quest and the finished product, that we have yet to see. We don't know what that looks like yet.
Yeah. Also add map markers for quests, please. Some of them are harder than physics and math to solve.
Oh, no kidding.
Some of them also have like the incorrect map markers.
Map markers. You got like the treasure maps that show a smaller map circle than it actually is. So you're looking inside the circle, losing your mind, and the actual treasure mound is about 300 yards outside of the circle.
And I remember the days before Alpha 2 was even out, and people were like, I don't want Quest to tell you where to go. You got to read the quest text and you got to figure it out for yourself. Like that, I was always like, you guys are such gatekeepers. It's like, because that's just not going to happen. There's going to be, even in vanilla WoW, that wasn't a thing. You want to know why? Because Thoughtbot existed. If you didn't know where a quest was or where to go, just Thoughtbot it. Bam, done. Like,
I'm going to be on the opposite side of you, though. Only because a core memory was playing World of Warcraft with my dad and me asking my dad where something was. And he's like, I don't know. Did you read the quest? And I was like, oh. And I read the quest and I figured out where to go. Doesn't happen all the time. I agree. But there is something to be said about if you just read the quest tells you where you need to go for the most part.
Yeah. Just saying there's a lot of stuff, right? People are inventive right now, and AI is going to be very pervasive in a lot of tech. They make, for crying out loud, they make an AI powered monitor that will tell you when there's an enemy creeping around a corner in a first person shooter and put a cursor on its head. So I'm just saying that's the monitor. It has nothing to do with your computer and looking at the kernel level processes even. Do you think it's going to be hard for someone to be like, you know what, all you got to do is set up your phone over in this little corner on a tripod and then just look at the video and scope out where on the monitor stuff's happening, and this thing's going to call out what you got to do and where you got to go because we've built this iOS app to guide you through your questing, and it's AI powered. There's going to be so much stuff that people could do, and I think I think
my whole thing with it is that it's, if you don't want accessibility, then turn it off. Like that's my argument, is the fact that like I hate people that want it hard for everybody, when it's like, well, if you're looking for a harder experience, then just turn off quest overlays, read the quests, you create that experience. Just like how, imagine if, you know, people like the Iron Man challenge, right? Just imagine if people advocated like this should be the case, you know, for everybody, like everybody should be, you know, you die once and your character gets deleted. It's like, no, it's like, that's the way you want to play. Like, don't try to punish other people because they want to play differently. Like, especially in MMORPGs, like that's why I think MMORPGs got super popular, was that people were playing them in a bunch of different kinds of ways, because most of the earlier ones were kind of like open sandbox. And they slowly became more theme parkish, but I mean, I don't know. I just don't like people trying to dictate like how other people should play.
Yeah. That being said, I think part of the amazing part of MMORPGs, at least for me, and I might be an idealist in this opinion, because for me, World of Warcraft was the very first MMORPG I'd ever played, and before that, I played very basic, like childish games, not in a negative way, but just, you know, like Toadstool Mario, like Harvest Moon, just easy games to comprehend and to do without any like in-depth reading or understanding what's happening or storyline to it. And so having played D&D when I was 18, and also having come from playing World of Warcraft with the type of way my dad taught me to play World of Warcraft in terms of like reading the quest and figuring out where things were from there. Basically, long story short, in D&D and other TTRPGs in which World of Warcraft and these other MMORPGs came from, you don't have these quest overlay things. I mean, granted, you have a live GM who's there to like help guide you through things or like throw you a bone, but I feel like part of it is the immersion of reading the quest and being a part of the story, and then the adaptation for the people that don't care about story in an MMORPG, which is the biggest part of the MMORPG in my opinion. Sure, you can have extra stuff added for you, but I'd like to see like actual helpful explanations, because Atash is talking about getting a cloak for cleric or bards from Atash? Where'd it go? It's way up there now. Al Ashal, the Al Ashal cloak. But yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I think it's one of those things. It's like when people get used to certain things in video games and they're not present, they're going to want to do what they can to get as close to it as possible. So as Ikoma Edo said, guides and walkthroughs has always been a thing. Delivering that content still requires people to go look for it, which I think there is value in that research methodology. That's true. But at the same time, you're also going to have people saying that they're tired and bored of these people that put out walkthroughs and this and that shouldn't be able to exist for a game. They should take that content down and such like that, because it's their game and they should be able to control this and that. Not saying that's a widespread cracking another one. I hear you.
But, great. I love it.
Yeah. Not saying it's big on everybody out there is saying that or anything, but it has been something that I've heard people say. And I think the only way to really avoid stuff like that is to give everybody in the game kind of an equal ground, so they don't have to go out and look up those quest walkthroughs and game walkthroughs, because there's simple map markers, simple guidelines, not like super in depth of like listing ahead of time every step you have to take, but giving you some decent idea at least, saying like, yeah, there's an NPC, there's a sheriff over in whatever settlement, you should go talk to him. Just show me the arrow for which settlement it is. Don't make me hover over every single spot on the map to look for which one it is. And if there's a fog of war and I don't even have that thing on my map yet, I mean, I'm literally not going to know where to go at all in any way, shape, or form without an arrow to tell me at least a general direction. And if someone in real life tells me that I need to go to the auto shop and they name a town and then they just walk away from me, I'm gonna be so frustrated because they didn't even tell me, yeah, it's to the east. You got to get on this highway and go that way till exit like 43 or so. Like, and get off on whatever this road name is. It's kind of right there off the highway. Okay, cool. So I know generally where I'm going and I'll see a sign, aka quest marker, when I get off the highway, right? So in reality, and the expectation of role playing is that you would ask that person, okay, so where do I find this person? Give me a general idea. Oh, anywhere in the world? Okay, F you, buddy. I'm going to ask the next person. Thank you.
Well, so technically... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, like, because we live in 2025, right? Reading shouldn't be a thing. That's why everybody wants, like, AI, or not AI, but people want, like, voice actors for quests, right? Like, I want... Someone made on Reddit, this was, like, a while ago, made, like, a mock-up UI of, like, how quest people should be in game, and it looked really cool. It almost looked like SWTOR. Like it had like the dialogue it was reading off or whatever, and but it was like a still frame, but he kind of painted it look like SWTOR, and it would talk like SWTOR does and stuff. And I'm like, man, I know Steven said a while back that they're not going to do that, but dude, AI has gotten so good and it's only going to get better. Like, I can't imagine what AI is going to sound like in a year or two from now, like in 2026 or 2027, because I'm telling you, it's going to get so indistinguishable. And again, I would just love just to have like, AI quests for like, commissions or, some of the Fatui system or whatever. But like, I would love if they actually hired voice actors for like maybe some of the main roles, like whoever's going to be the Jaina or whoever's going to be like the Sylvanas or the Enderwin Rin of, Ashes of Creation, like get voice actors for those. But because there's probably going to be a shit ton of quests, like just to put AI to do that, you know what I mean? Like, and it's going to sound great.
You say the Fatui system?
Well, the first time user experience. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
I've never heard it.
I haven't heard it called that.
It's only sidelined
before.
from like the Haktua system.
I really thought you were talking about Genshin Impact for a quick minute there.
And then you got the Haktua.
It's the reason why I say Fatui is because that's where I think the quest narration needs to happen the most, right? Is like in the first like major storyline or just like a lot of the intro stuff for new players.
We're only a couple beers in, okay?
Look, it was a great joke. I appreciated it.
and real quick, by the way, Ikoma Edo, yeah, I totally see where you're coming from on that, and absolutely agree. Like, it shouldn't be a full tilt hand-holding thing. But yeah, it shouldn't be a full tilt hand-holding system, but at least there should be like something provided besides go over there, do the thing. People are killing me here.
Or when you started this.
Just get on that thing. How else are you gonna polish it, noob? Huh?
Yeah.
Just saying. What do you think? Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that statement.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say, how do you think he got your medallion to be blue? But yeah, no, I think it's really important. Like, I'm not gonna get into like the current events stuff or anything really, but I think it's really important that a game a game not only gives you like the immersive qualities of it, but also, still points you in the right direction. And so I was telling Atash that I think that the types of quests like the cloak quest he's talking about will probably get easier when you have those more refined like language in the quests in general, and a better way of explaining where things are, versus just go and do this thing and then now you got to figure it out. But what I was gonna comment on is the example of just grab parcels, and I'm not gonna tell you where. Like the parcel quest is literally it's everywhere. Like as you just roam around, you find the glowy parcels on the ground. I wish those would kind of disappear when you are done with that quest, so you don't keep seeing them. Just for immersiveness, at least make the sparkle parts go away.
Or if you could find them and hand them to friends. I mean, I think that could end up being a broken thing, but maybe just not be able to pick them up.
Welcome to the game. Here's 10 parcels I've been collecting for the last 3 years.
I've
got a whole bank storage full of them.
Find a new character just appearing up in Alien Ruins. Like, here you go. Here's 6 of these. What? Why do I want these? You'll know.
I could see some incredible douche going and saying, I am the safe, fast, sure monopolizer. Pay me and I'll give you 6 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then you find out that him standing there long enough to say that just made 4 parcels appear.
Yeah, because they're on a 30-second cooldown.
Yeah.
Would be a nice gift for new players, absolutely. But a better way would be like, hey, you want to come? You want some extra gear? I'll protect you on the way to over here, but I'll take you to get some gear. Like that way, like you're not just giving them gear and then just running away. It's like you're building a little bit of a bond for them. Who knows? They might join your guild.
Yeah. Never know.
A new Tastic wants to sell a parcel for 5 gold. But yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, I think that questing should outline pretty nicely for people to know where to go, and the reality is, to get back on the original topic of grinding and everything, the reality is the quest should not be as grindy as just grinding mobs to level. There should be somewhat of a grind there according to Steven's like design, but overall the intent is to, in the time it takes for you to complete one quest, I guess, series or whatever, you also get relatively the same amount of XP as the person that was just standing out in the, like, I don't know, area, mob grinding for like that entire time. Getting glint and everything else that they were getting, which I'd rather go do the quest. That's more interesting to me than stand outside and just mob grind. But
yeah,
that'll come with the first time user experience, and not even just the first time user experience, but more specifically the questing system. The thing is, Noobtastic, you can choose to go grind if you want, but it should not be the only way to level. This is not BDO.
No. If there is no grind, it's not qualified to be called an MMO. You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
How grindy should gear be? Because it's way too long right now. I agree. It's a very big grind at the moment, and I don't know the right answer to that. I don't know if maybe they are on the right track, and if we don't already have the, like, my mind is thinking, for example, right now, it takes a lot of materials, but if they input the artisan skill tree, perhaps you can increase your, what was that called? Your harvest, I guess. So if I'm out there chopping down a tree as large as a adult oak is, I should be able to get more than 5. Thank you, Spoils. Yes, I should be able to get more than just 5 logs out of a large oak like that. I could be able to get up to 10, for example. But perhaps that's something that a good lumberjack would be able to do, and a not as trained lumberjack would just be hacking away at the tree, potentially, like for immersive reasons. And so I'm thinking, if they put in the skill trees for the artisanships, I could see it being less grindy in that manner because you're either getting more rarity or more spoil or whatever with how you build out your artisan tree specifically for that. And maybe that'll balance it out, but without that, it's definitely grindy. I agree.
You know, what do you guys think about when it comes to the gathering of materials? So there's the whole like the static rarity thing and all that they're going to be fixing and getting out of the way. But if it were to be a kind of fixed determination as far as a certain percentage of, because currently it is set to a certain percentage chance of getting certain rarities is how it's supposed to be, right? Mm-hmm. So what if it was actually calculated at the time a character picks it up? And it calculates it based on how many things have been picked up in the last X amount of time, the last like 3 weeks or a month. And whatever it ends up being, it's like, okay, well, the next thing to keep it balanced is going to be one of these, and then one of these, and then one of these, and then one of these. And okay, it's been long enough that now we're tipping to the point that it's not a 1% legendary anymore. So now the next person to harvest something, there it is, that's the legendary right there. Okay, next. And that were the way it were to calculate everything.
It should not be pre-calculated. I completely agree with that.
You know what that would also do, I think? Like, just to toss this out there real quick, just an additional benefit. I think that would help avoid strip mining of lumber as well, because people just go for the adult trees, right? If there's a certain chance of whatever you're grabbing at the time that you get it is going to get a certain rarity, they're going to want 5 of them on the chance, right? Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5. Mm-hmm. But sorry, go ahead.
When I think about how the rarity system should be, completely RNG based on that. So when you hit a tree, it should trigger, we're gonna call it a slot machine. And if it aligns, you get a chance at rolling again, which is then going to increase the rarity. And there's a percentage based on that. And anytime that it rolls and lands over and over and over again on their upgrade rarity based on your percentage chance that you have, then it goes up to legendary, something like that. So I think there should be something along those lines where all the materials across the world are a baseline rarity, and that is based on your character's rarity chance that increases.
Yeah. I love that.
You know what that also does? That also helps quote unquote power creep when it comes to everybody being at end game gear and getting like the most quality rating and all this and that. You'll start balancing out because your quality rating will impact your chance of getting a higher tier rarity, and then also if your luck stat plays into it, that increases your chances. So the luckiest people with the highest amount of boost to their quality we get the higher tier stuff. They would be the ones pushing it over, like, okay, now we've gotten too many legendaries out here. Now there's not going to be a legendary for a while. And everything is going to be pushing out at the lower rarities until it catches back up to the set percentages.
That system also, from a dev standpoint, should be one of the easiest systems to balance as well, because then you're only relying upon a single indicator for this, and you can just take that dial and be like, okay, let's dial this back 5 notches, or okay, there's a lot of people, there's scarcity in the markets, lumber, epic lumber, legendary lumber is going for 100 gold. Okay, we need to crank this up a little bit, make it affordable for the middleman, stuff like that.
Yeah, and Christopher Vote over there on YouTube. Yeah, there's a luck stat. It was hidden before, now it's on your character sheet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Yes.
The thing that is hidden is where that stat comes from specifically. I think you can get some gear with luck stat on it. It says increases your luck, so now you'll be able to see how much.
It'd be funny if corruption lowers your luck.
See, I love that. I love that.
Blight. A blight
Absolutely,
reduction on your luck.
Blight reduction on your luck. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, imagine having worked so hard to build up like a node or whatever, and then you just turn red and get a bunch of blight on you, and like all of that work just gone. Boom.
GB for the kidney and twist the knife.
But yeah, Christopher. You can in a way build for luck. I think there was like one item that it was like the Santa hat or something like that we
Santa
got.
hat.
Right? Yeah, it
Oh,
increases
my
your
hell.
luck. But at the time you couldn't see your luck stats, so you had no idea how much it increased it by. But the only thing
Stupid
Steven said,
Santa hat. Oh.
yeah, right. The only thing
Pissed me off
Steven
that much
said,
more.
yeah, because you just had to wear that. You couldn't wear your normal helmet. Yep. But yeah, Steven said it's a hidden stat, and he wasn't going to talk about how you get luck. So, in a way, you could build for it with certain special items like that as they come around. Obviously, we don't have them right now because they've wiped it a couple times since then.
Yeah.
But I imagine there's going to be some things like that probably for special events from time to time.
But
I foresee a giant magic find culture or luck culture developing around a guild that's got a 10% luck in there. And them to go hardcore PvP, they're going to every single PvP zone to get that additional 10% luck.
Yep.
Wearing fucking Santa hats, so they're at a disadvantage in stats already.
Yeah.
God. I'm a bah humbug.
Bah humbug. Oh my gosh. So Tasha was asking about gathering. Like, can we complain about gathering as why it can't be just pure RNG based on gear and your level of gathering and your gathering skill tree buffs and node buffs, and just going back to that. Yeah, we did that, Mr. Noobtastic. We had a little mini like Santa hat guild run at one point. It was really fun.
That was so stupid.
It was fine. But it's just one of those things, like, that's something I've been talking about at least since phase 2. Remember, Erwin, I worked really hard for that, like, heroic, almost legendary, like, sickle, and nothing changed. Nothing at all. I had grabbed, like, a huge amount of a patch of flowers, and it was rarity up, I believe. And I noted how much of those flowers were common or uncommon, etc. And then I worked really hard to get the sickle. I went back to that same patch of flowers, the same amount of flowers. Nothing changed. It did not at all adjust the rarity up at all. And that was like the biggest heartbreak, because I had spent a lot of time and effort getting the mats for that, just for nothing to have really changed. But hey, it had pretty good durability. But I was hoping that by having that better quality, it would have at least given me more rarer items, not like the same amount of rarity items. They should tell us if it doesn't work. I agree. Huh?
So I have a video coming out tomorrow, fingers crossed, about the state of the economy, and I talk about rarity a lot in the video. My whole thing on rarity is that because of the certification, I want every certification to have its own kind of journey with it. And my kind of feedback is I kind of want a person to start over. So because we have like profession stats, I want rarity to be determined based off of your stat. So I feel like having everything in the world just be a common material. And so you want to, of course, craft better stuff, with your, so you start off with a crude, right? So then once you actually make an actual novice item, now you have the potentiality to get common and uncommon, right? But if you just have a crude, then everything you're going to be gathering is just going to be common materials. And then of course, once you make like an uncommon tool, then now you have like the next rarity up or whatever from there. Right now you can start getting a little bit more rares, and now you unlock like heroic, and it just keeps going on and on. And because someone might only ever end up being a novice miner or a novice lumberjack, you want that journey of 1 to 10 to be a little bit fulfilling, right? And of course I'm also taking into consideration like hopefully the future artisan talent trees to go into that as well. But I kind of want your progression to literally start over. So if you're going to be a novice, or like, let's say a journeyman miner, then once you are a novice and you want to go into apprentice, then same thing happens again, right? So all your novice stuff doesn't apply at the apprentice level. You kind of have to start your journey all over again. So now you're going to be gathering like commons. You got to make, you know, a novice or an apprentice base tool, and then uncommons, you know, rigmarole the whole process again. And what that does is it just slows down rarity across the board, and it makes it very affordable for, you know, the buyers and stuff like that. So that way a lot of people are just literally making crafts that are like common and uncommon. And by doing it this way, legendary will feel very legendary. The people that put in the time in each bracket will definitely reap its rewards.
Oh my god.
What?
Yes. You rang.
You know that there's already an artisan tree that's been like slowly getting introduced to the lumberjacking platform, right?
Yeah.
Who are you asking me? Because no, I don't do anything lumberjacking.
So if you go into your artisan tree and you look at your lumberjacking right now, it actually has artisan skill points, even though we don't have any yet, that you can put in to improve your chances at getting rare resources in the surveying area, or increasing the chance to yield better wood while using an axe. Why you would have anything other than axe, I don't know.
Maybe with the double-handed saw
tools.
And the other,
that's
the other
right,
two
yeah.
tools.
There's one called axe felling, which increases the chance to yield more wood while using an axe. And there's a point you can put in to increase your survey pylon's range.
Interesting.
Nice.
That's really cool. Real quick, Vladus, Dino's asking if you want a rebirth system.
A